Hey, I want to talk to you guys today about unclaimed money. It's crazy. We hear about this sometimes, like there's millions of dollars or billions of dollars in unclaimed bank accounts around the world. It's true. So I looked it up for Canada. There's actually almost $1 billion in Canada, $973 million as of 2020. So that number has only gone up by now, I'm sure. So $973 million that the Bank of Canada had as of the end of 2020 in unclaimed bank accounts. It was over 2 million individual accounts made up that amount. What is an unclaimed bank account? It's a bank account that's been there for over 10 years and they either can't contact the person or the person hasn't contacted them to get that money back. So how does this even happen? It's crazy, right? Like, how would you ever just forget you have money? Well, forgetting you have money is sometimes what happens, right? Like maybe you opened a bank account when you were like 8 and there was 76 cents in there and you just kind of forgot about it, or, those types of scenarios. But more common than that, a lot of times what happens is the person that held the bank account has actually passed away and no one knows the money's there. Now, let's think about what also might happen. What I've been finding out is sometimes what happens actually is the family knows that the person had the bank account, but they didn't have a will leaving that money to someone. And a lot of people say to me, oh, no big deal. If my mom, the money would go to me, or my brother, there's no other next of kin. This happened in my family. Unfortunately, my brother passed away. He didn't have a will. He had no kids, no wife. No big deal, right? Well, actually, it was a really big deal. And so things like bank accounts don't just automatically go to like his next of kin, which would be in our case like me or my parents. What happens is someone has to actually petition the court and gain legal rights to that money. So you have to file with the courts or get a lawyer to be able to go through this legal process so that you would have the right to that account. So no big deal, right? You hire a lawyer. Well, what happens a lot of times is the lawyer cost or the cost to get the court order would cost more money than is in the bank account. So the family just walks away from it, which is crazy. But think about it. If there's $500 in the bank account, but it's going to cost $1,000 to get a lawyer to gain legal rights to that money, you're just going to unfortunately walk away from that money, aren't you? That's crazy, right? It's crazy to think that this happens, but it does every day. There's so many people that pass away and don't have a will. And whether it's their bank account or their assets, like even PC points or their Facebook account or things like this, if you don't have a will, no one has legal right to it. But certainly we don't want to leave money behind that just ends up just sitting in the Bank of Canada and no one can get it. So a lot of times people don't have a will, and that is why the money goes unclaimed. Or they have a will, but no one knows where it is or no one knows it exists. So think about this. How many of us, get an important piece of paper and we think, I'm going to put that away somewhere safe. And then you go to look for it and you can't find it. So kind of the same thing with a will. If you have a will, but no one knows where it is, do you really have a will? So same situation happens. This money, these assets end up going unclaimed, which is crazy. So, I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, that is incredible. $973 million is what the Bank of Canada has. Unclaimed money. And then it doesn't even include other accounts that might be in a credit union, gold or silver certificates, safety deposit box, bond stocks, or unclaimed life insurance. That's crazy. So it's probably millions, if not billions of dollars, even more if we took that in a collective amount, which is crazy. So I don't know. I have a will, and we keep it in an online storage so that what basically happens is when we pass away, the online storage will go to somebody because all those documents, your bank accounts, records of your life insurance, records of where your investments are, you want that to go to someone. I always say, like, If you don't know who to leave it to a cat. I don't really care. Leave it to someone, but don't leave it to the bank or to the government in the way of taxes. So there is ways that we can make all that stuff a lot smoother for you, so at least your money that you worked hard for isn't going to end up being unclaimed by the Bank of Canada and just sitting there for them to make money and make interest off of, because that's crazy. The banks make enough money, don't they? So anyways, I just thought that was pretty eye-opening when I saw the number. I hope this was helpful. If you ever want to know what we use for our online will and things like that, I'm happy to share it. Just send me a message. But number one is make sure you have a will. Make sure someone can get access to that will. Make sure your other investments and insurance and documents like that are also in a safe place. And I'll tell you what I found out during the wildfire when we lost all of our stuff is a fire safe box is actually not a safe place. You probably need to keep it somewhere else. Maybe that's online in a cloud. Maybe it's something else. But I just thought I'd share that as well. So I hope this was helpful for you. I found it super eye-opening, and I hope you have a great day.